The western United States is on fire right now, and I mean that in the most literal, most alarming sense possible. 6,300,000 acres gone since January 1st, the highest acreage at this point in the year in over a decade. 94 large fires are burning across the country as we speak, and the weather is getting worse, not better. Here's the thing that keeps fire meteorologists up at night. This is all happening before the peak of fire season. And y'all, the monsoon that was supposed to bail out the Southwest this summer has been a complete head fake. Dry thunderstorms are firing across the Great Basin with humidity as low as 5% and temperatures at 102 degrees. Meanwhile, Salt Lake City is under an extreme heat warning through midnight Monday, with highs near 99 degrees Fahrenheit. My goodness, when you combine record heat, single-digit humidity, and 60 fire management teams stretched to the absolute limit, that is what fire weather professionals call a big-time impactful setup. So let's get right into it. All data in today's video comes directly from the official NIFC Incident Management Situation Report published August 9th, 2026. Let's go west to east, starting in California, because the Pacific Coast is not getting a break either right now. Brand new fire alert. The MP18 fire ignited 2 miles north of Hoopa in Humboldt County, Northern California, as of this morning's IMSR. 374 acres, 0% contained, extreme fire behavior with uphill runs and crowning. Residents is threatened. A CIMT is mobilizing right now. By this afternoon in Hoopa, fire crews will be in a full initial attack posture. This fire has the terrain and the fuel loading to grow fast. South in Tuolumne, Calaveras County, the Gann fire near Valley Springs sits at 10,374 acres, 60% contained. 2,439 personnel are holding that fire. The Ridge Fire in Los Angeles County, south of Bakersfield, is at 1,108 acres, 54% contained. The Buzzard Fire near Lebec in Kern County, 895 acres, 67% contained, holding steady for now in Southern California. Here's the interesting thing about why these Southern California fires are not more explosive today. The relative humidity there is 10 to 25%, better than the interior West. But move inland into Nevada and the Great Basin, and the numbers become alarming. Temperatures 95 to 102 degrees, humidity 5 to 15%. Dry lightning, that's when a thunderstorm produces lightning strikes, but the rain evaporates before it reaches the ground. All the ignitions, none of the moisture. That dry lightning threat runs from the eastern Sierra Nevada through central Nevada and into Utah all day today and into Monday. Every strike is a potential new fire start. In Nevada, the Mouse Meadow Fire at Nellis Air Force Base, 51,000 acres, 65% contained. The New Pass Fire near Austin, 37,899 acres, 75%. The Ward Fire south of Ely in the Humboldt-Toyabe National Forest, 8,775 acres, only 35% contained, 615 personnel on it. Moving into Utah, Salt Lake City is under an extreme heat warning through midnight tonight. Tonight's low will only drop to 75 degrees in the Salt Lake Valley. The Rocky Canyon Fire, 6 miles southwest of Hennifer, is officially at 1,200 acres, 0% contained, per the official NIFC IMSR this morning. 92 personnel assigned. Active fire behavior with running, spotting, and crowning. Evacuations and road closures in effect for Hennifer residents right now. If you are under a go evacuation order near the Rocky Canyon Fire, leave now. Do not wait to see flames, and absolutely do not fly drones over this fire. No drone zone in effect. When drones are in the airspace, firefighting helicopters cannot operate. One drone flight can ground an entire aerial operation. Please respect that. Here's the quirky detail of the day. On Sunday afternoon, a false emergency alert went out to all of Summit County, Utah, indicating a county-wide mandatory evacuation. Officials corrected it quickly, but imagine your phone screaming that your entire county is under evacuation. That is a heart-stopping moment, and it happened here. The actual go order applies only to residents between the Summit County line at Hogback Summit and West Hennifer Road. Check your local emergency management for the current status. Also in Utah, the Black Canyon Fire in the Manti-La Sal National Forest, 29 miles southwest of Price, 3,200 acres, 0% contained. Active uphill runs, torching, and short-range spotting. Residences and energy infrastructure threatened. And the Widemouth 2 fire near Kanosh, 114,957 acres, 27% contained. Stream fire behavior, crowning, group torching, and long-range spotting. The Widemouth 2 is where 2 contracted helicopter pilots were killed in a crash on August 7th and 8th. Their names have not been released yet. Our deepest condolences go to their families and the entire wildland fire community. Heading into Idaho, the Tartar Fire in the Boise district northwest of Weiser has reached 158,000 acres, 87% contained. Long campaign almost done. But a brand new fire, the MM-115 Highway 20 fire, ignited 12 miles northeast of Mountain Home. 4,936 acres overnight, only 10% contained. Wind-driven runs with flanking and running fire behavior, structures and communication infrastructure threatened, evacuations in effect. This one is on the I-84 corridor, that stretch of highway between Boise and Mountain Home. The Double Springs Fire in the Salmon Chalice National Forest northwest of Mackay, 1,546 acres, 5% contained, short crown runs, and group torching. And in Wyoming, the Bear Fire in the Bridger-Teton National Forest, 20 miles northwest of Big Piney, 443 acres, 0% contained, structures and energy infrastructure threatened. Okay, let's get into Oregon. 23 large fires, more than any other state in the country. And once again, the scale of what's burning there is staggering. First, the Coleman Creek Fire in the Burns District, 8 miles east of Ventura, 308,721 acres, 89% contained. That is 308,000 acres in a single fire in eastern Oregon. That is almost the size of Rhode Island, and it barely made national headlines. The Big Grass Fire in the Vail District, 25 miles southwest of Jordan Valley, 504,385 acres. 39% contained. Wind-driven runs, long-range spotting, numerous structures and critical infrastructure threatened. Evacuations in effect. By this evening in Jordan Valley, fire crews will be working through the night to hold lines. The Rowe Creek Complex, 10 miles south of Fossil, 366,617 acres, 79% contained, 1,615 personnel. U.S. Highway 26 remains closed between milepost 29.2 and 59.8. If you're driving across Central Oregon, plan your detour now. That closure isn't lifting soon. The Hagen Fire east of Pendleton, 42,699 acres, only 11% contained. Active uphill runs and spotting, numerous residences and critical infrastructure threatened. The Grasshopper Fire in the Mount Hood National Forest, 10 miles east of Government Camp, 54,223 acres, 23% contained. Active flanking and uphill runs in rugged terrain east of the mountain. If you're on the US 26 and Oregon 35 corridor near Hood River, there are road and trail closures in effect. Now, the Wrights Spring Fire, 2 miles west of Sprague River, where we lost Jason Ensign on August 7th. 23,394 acres, 0% contained. 14,672 new acres added just yesterday. Extreme fire behavior with crowning and long-range spotting. Numerous structures and critical infrastructure threatened. Jason Ensign, 47 years old, Klamath Falls, Oregon, operating a Caterpillar D6 dozer when rapidly changing conditions overtook his position. He did not survive. We honor his memory. Washington State, 20 large fires, second in the nation to Oregon. But here's where it gets interesting. 2 brand new fires ignited overnight, and they are already enormous. The Little Goose Fire, 18 miles north of Dayton, Washington, 8,524 acres, 0% contained. The IMSR describes behavior as extreme, wind-driven runs, spotting, and flanking. The Nunamaker Road Fire, 10 miles south of Washtukna on the Spokane District, 17,000 acres, 0% contained. Active running and flanking, energy infrastructure threatened. 25,000 acres total, 2 new fires, both 0% contained, both ignited in the last 24 hours. That is how fast this season is moving right now. The Little Giant Fire, 30 miles northwest of Leavenworth. 97,539 acres, only 2% contained. Extreme fire behavior, 1,734 personnel. The Sinlahecan Fire, 1 mile west of Tonasket. 137,611 acres, 34% contained. Extreme fire behavior with short crown runs and spotting. The Kaiser Canyon Fire, 1 mile south of Nespelem, 138,268 acres, 62% contained. 47 structures already lost in that fire. The Ptarmigan Fire, 20 miles northwest of Mazama, 21,385 acres, 8% contained. A National Incident Management Organization team is assigned, the highest command level we have. The Three Queens Fire just east of Snoqualmie Pass, 1,200 acres, 0% contained, brand new. Active wind-driven runs and dense timber near the pass with evacuations in effect. Good news from Spokane. Level 3 evacuations significantly downgraded after the red flag event over the weekend did not spread fire as feared. Most areas now at level 1. In the national parks, the Luna Fire in North Cascades grew by 2,173 acres yesterday to 3,583 acres total. 0% contained. Grand Park 2 at Mount Rainier, 312 acres, 0% contained. Active torching and spotting with structures threatened in the park. Up in Montana, the Sand Creek Fire 5 miles east of Wisdom, 8,890 acres, 1% contained. Extreme fire behavior with running and group torching. The Bobcat Lakes Fire 12 miles east of Wisdom, 5,514 acres, 0% contained. Wind-driven runs and group torching. Both fires have evacuations in effect. The Skillet Fire 15 miles west of Olney, 3,227 acres, 11% contained. Railroad infrastructure is specifically threatened there. That is an unusual call-out for a wildfire. The Moose Fire 24 miles southwest of Phillipsburg, 3,544 acres, 0% contained. The Silvertip Fire 30 miles northeast of Condon, 6,272 acres, 0%. And the New Slowgrass Fire near Colstrip, 6,467 acres. Residents trying to evacuate livestock from the Montana fires can contact Jack Bazep, Beaverhead County Extension. That is verified contact information from official sources. Now, Colorado, and here is a story that deserves far more national attention than it's getting. The Aspen Acres Fire, 20 miles southwest of Pueblo, 101,965 acres. 915 structures destroyed. Suppression costs already at $99.8 million. 72% contained. The devastation in Custer County, Colorado is heartbreaking. The Gold Mountain Fire, 2 miles north of RA, 39,532 acres, 90% contained, $60 million in suppression costs, 5 structures lost. The Elk Fire, 7 miles northwest of Lake City, 6,760 acres, 36% contained. And the 310 Fire, 1 mile east of Battlement Mesa, 603 acres, 19% contained, numerous residences threatened. Down in New Mexico, the Frijoles Fire in the Santa Fe National Forest, 3 miles east of Condillo. 1,000 acres, 0% contained per the official IMSR. Active short crown runs and spotting. A complex incident management team is on scene. Residences and communication infrastructure threatened. And here's a story most national coverage is completely missing. Minnesota has 5 large fires burning right now in the Superior National Forest. The Bear Trap Fire, 20 miles north of Ely, 30,022 acres, 40% contained. The Sioux Fire, 7,041 acres, 35%. The Wolfpack Fire, 6,239 acres, 23% contained. The Thumb and Camp fires round out the Superior National Forest complex, all under one incident management team. Minnesota is in this fire season too, y'all. Don't sleep on it. All right, let's step back and look at the national picture, because the big picture is where this story gets truly alarming. 45,872 fires year to date. 6,328,055 acres burned, verified directly from the NIFC IMSR. The 10-year average for the state is 4,026,000 acres. We are at 157% of that average, 57% above the 10-year norm. 30,419 personnel deployed. 645 crews, 1,870 engines, 226 helicopters, National Preparedness Level 5, the maximum. Australia and New Zealand have already sent a 15-member incident management team and 59 fire line personnel. Military MFF's C-130 tankers are flying from Klamath Falls and Redding. When you need international teams and Air Force tankers to manage a domestic fire season, we have reached a level of demand that is historically extraordinary. And the reason all of this matters beyond just today is what the weather is doing over the next 48 hours, because it is not getting easier. Let's talk about the bridge into the week ahead. Here's where it gets interesting. The West and the East are telling two completely different weather stories. In the West, dangerous heat intensifying across the desert Southwest and Intermountain West through at least Wednesday. That's confirmed in the NWS Weather Prediction Center extended discussion. Seattle, high of 77 degrees Monday, confirmed by NWS Seattle. Mostly sunny, light variable wind. Air quality remains degraded from ongoing fires. Check your AQI before heading outside. Salt Lake City, high near 99 degrees Monday, southeast wind around 6 miles per hour with isolated thunderstorms possible after 3 in the afternoon. That means more dry lightning near active fire areas. Dallas highs around 100 degrees with heat index values up to 105, sixth consecutive day at or above 100 degrees Fahrenheit. NWS Fort Worth confirms this. Denver, temperatures running in the upper 80s to low 90s this week based on NWS data. With isolated afternoon thunderstorms across the Front Range, some of those storms could produce new fire ignitions. In the east, a completely different pattern. The NWS Weather Prediction Center is flagging a multi-day heavy rainfall threat Midwest and West through the Ohio Valley Wednesday through the weekend. Slow-moving thunderstorms over the same areas could produce significant flooding. Chicago, Indianapolis, Columbus, and Pittsburgh need to watch this setup carefully through Thursday and Friday. The southeast and upper ridge brings hazardous heat through at least next weekend. Atlanta, Charlotte, Miami, New Orleans, hot and humid all week long. Here's the meteorological setup that is driving everything in the West right now. And this is exactly the setup that will determine whether this week is manageable or catastrophic. We call it ridging. That's when a dome of high pressure builds over a region and essentially locks out cool air, moisture, and storm systems for days at a time. Think of it as an invisible heat dome sitting over the West. It deflects the jet stream northward, keeps humidity suppressed, and allows surface temperatures to climb unchecked. That ridge, confirmed by both the GFS and the European model, is not breaking down this week. Both models show it persisting through at least August 15th. And here is the connection to the monsoon situation. The same upper-level ridge that is baking the West is also blocking the moisture transport that drives the southwest monsoon northward. No monsoon moisture, no fuel moisture recovery. No fuel moisture recovery, no reduction in fire behavior potential. And that setup is locked in through at least mid-August. Now let's talk about the extended outlook. And I want to be completely upfront about what we know and what we don't, because your safety depends on honest forecasting. The NWS Storm Prediction Center issues fire weather outlooks through day 8, and the day 3 through 8 outlook continues to flag elevated to critical fire weather potential across the Northwest and Great Basin. That means at least a 40% probability of critical fire weather conditions. Red flag conditions continuing across the Pacific Northwest and Intermountain West through midweek. Now, models have been all over the place on the specifics. Yesterday's GFS run looks slightly wetter for the Four Corners by Thursday, but this morning's run backed off on that signal. The European model is consistently showing the ridge holding firm through at least the 15th, with no meaningful moisture return to the core fire zones. The HRR, that's the high-resolution rapid refresh, the short-range model that updates every hour, is showing continued dry lightning potential across the Great Basin tonight and into Monday morning. Let's walk through three scenarios. Best case, the monsoon delivers a genuine moisture pulse to the four corners by Thursday or Friday. Humidity climbs to 40 or 50%, fire behavior moderates, crews gain containment. Based on current GFS and Euro guidance, that best case is the least likely of the three. The models are not supporting it right now, and I'm not going to tell you otherwise. Middle scenario, the most likely based on current data, the ridge holds through the week. Humidity stays in the teens, winds remain gusty, dry lightning continues producing new ignitions daily. Large fires like Rowe Creek and Coleman Creek continue slow containment gains, but newer fires like Little Goose and Three Queens grow aggressively. No significant relief in the fire zones. Worst case scenario, a midweek wind event associated with a shortwave trough moves through the northern Rockies, producing rapid wind shifts across multiple active fire zones simultaneously. A shortwave trough, that's a dip in the upper level atmosphere that can fire up thunderstorms on its leading edge and produce sudden, dangerous wind shifts on the backside. In that worst case scenario, the Little Giant Fire near Leavenworth, the Wrights Spring Fire near Sprague River, and the Sand Creek Fire near Wisdom could all make massive acreage runs on the same day. With resources already at maximum commitment, National Preparedness Level 5. There is no meaningful reserve to surge to a new crisis. That is the honest picture of where we are. The Day 3 fire weather outlook holds as we get to Day 2 and Day 1. We will be here every single day with updates. Before we close, I need to take a moment to honor the people who are on the front lines of all of this, because these are real lives. Emily Barker, 38, of Clinton Township, Michigan. Nick Hutcherson, 27, of Glendale, Arizona. Sydney Watson, 26, of Warrior, Alabama. All three gave their lives on the Snyder Fire in Colorado on June 27th. Members of the rifle hell attack crew overtaken in a burnover with no way out. Jason Ensign, 47 years old, of Klamath Falls, Oregon, killed August 7th while constructing dozer lines on the Wrights Spring Fire to protect communities. And two helicopter pilots contracted by the U.S. Forest Service killed in the Widemouth 2 fire crash in Utah. Their names not yet released, 6 lives lost this season. These forecasts are not abstract. Understanding wind shifts, humidity crashes, and afternoon thunderstorm timing is information that keeps firefighters alive on the fire line. All right, to wrap this up, this is a developing and dangerous situation across the entire western United States, and conditions could change rapidly in the next 48 hours. If you are in an active evacuation zone in Utah, Oregon, Washington, Montana, Idaho, or Wyoming, take those orders seriously. Leave now. Do not wait for flames or smoke. Keep your wireless emergency alerts turned on. Follow your local emergency management agencies. They have the most current and accurate ground-level information for your specific area. All fire data verified from the NIFC IMSR August 9th, 2026. Weather forecast data sourced directly from nwsweather.gov and the NWS Weather Prediction Center. We will have daily updates for as long as this fire season demands it. If the pattern shifts, better or worse, we will be right back here to break it down. If this breakdown was useful to you, please hit that like button and subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a daily fire weather update from us. Thank you for watching. Listen to your local emergency managers. Take care of each other out there. I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe out there.